Good morning, Daniel. It is great to meet you. Please come in and have a seat.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate you making time for me today.
Of course, that is exactly what I am here for. Can I get you anything before we start? There's water on the table.
A glass of water would be perfect. Thank you.
Please help yourself. So, tell me a little about yourself. What do you do at your company?
I work in the operations department. I've been there for about 3 years now. My team is growing, and my manager recently asked me to start leading our weekly meetings and presenting updates to other departments.
That sounds like a really exciting step forward in your career. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I feel a little nervous. My written English is quite good, I think, but speaking in meetings, especially in front of senior colleagues, that's a different thing entirely.
That is completely understandable, and you're definitely not alone in feeling that way. Many professionals feel confident writing emails, but freeze a little when they have to speak in real time. It's one of the most common challenges I work with.
That's actually reassuring to hear. I sometimes feel like everyone else finds it easy and I'm the only one struggling.
Not at all. Speaking under pressure is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned and practiced. That's the good news.
I'm glad to hear that. Can I ask what corporate English training actually involves? I wasn't entirely sure what to expect today.
Great question. Corporate English training focuses on the specific English skills you need in a professional environment. Things like running meetings, giving presentations, writing clear professional emails, and having confident conversations with colleagues and clients. It's very practical and always tailored to your real situation.
So it's not like studying grammar rules from a textbook.
Not at all. Grammar has its place, of course, but in corporate training, we focus on communication that actually works in the real world. We practice the language you'll use tomorrow, not just language you might use someday.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that's exactly what I need. What would a typical session look like for someone in my position?
For someone leading meetings and giving presentations, we would start by working on your opening phrases. How you begin a meeting sets the entire tone. Then we'd practice structuring your ideas clearly so your message lands well with your audience.
What do you mean by landing well? I haven't heard that phrase used that way before.
Good catch. When we say a message lands well, we mean your audience understands it clearly and responds positively to it. Your words have the effect you intended. It's a very common phrase in professional communication.
I like that. Landing well. I'll remember that one.
Exactly. And that's how we build vocabulary in these sessions too, through real context, not just through memorizing long lists of words.
That's such a different approach to how I learned English in school. We memorized a lot of vocabulary lists back then.
Many people did, and it's useful to a point, but spoken professional English is about using the right phrase at the right moment. Fluency comes from practice in real situations, not just from memorization alone.
I completely agree. I can read a business article without any problem, but when I'm in a meeting and someone asks me an unexpected question, my mind sometimes goes blank.
That's called being put on the spot, and it happens to everyone, even native speakers. What we practice in training is how to respond confidently even when you need a moment to think.
How do you do that? How do you respond confidently when you're not sure what to say?
There are specific phrases that buy you time without sounding hesitant or uncertain. For example, you can say, "That's an interesting point. Let me think about that for a moment." Or, "Could you give me a little more context on that?" Both phrases sound professional and give you the thinking space you need.
Those are really useful. I would never have thought of using a phrase to create thinking time. I always felt like I had to respond immediately or I would look unprepared.
That's a very common assumption, but actually, pausing before you answer shows confidence and careful thinking. It's a sign of a strong communicator, not a weak one.
That genuinely changes how I think about it. What about presenting to a group? That's the part that makes me most nervous.
Presentations are very manageable once you have a clear structure. The most effective professional presentations follow a simple pattern. You tell the audience what you're going to say it, then you summarize what you said. That structure alone makes a huge difference to how confident you sound.
Tell them, say it, then summarize. That sounds simple, but I can see how powerful it would be.
It really is. And when you combine that with confident body language and a strong opening line, you'll notice the difference immediately. Your audience will too.
What makes a strong opening line for a presentation?
A strong opening does one of two things. It either states the purpose of your presentation clearly and directly, or it opens with a question that makes your audience think. For example, today I want to show you 3 ways we can improve our process. That's clear, direct, and immediately tells people why they should listen.
I love that. It removes all the nervous filler at the beginning that I usually do. I tend to start with something like, "Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. I'm going to talk about something today."
You're laughing, but that's actually very honest and very typical. Most people do exactly that when they're nervous. We work on replacing those opener habits with strong, purposeful language that builds confidence from the very first sentence.
I already feel more confident just talking to you about it. Is that strange to say?
Not at all. That's actually one of the best things about this kind of training. When you understand why something works, you start to feel more in control, and feeling in control is half the battle.
Can I ask one more question? How long does it usually take to see real improvement?
That varies from person to person, but most professionals notice a meaningful difference within 4 to 6 sessions when they practice consistently between sessions. The key word is consistently. Short, regular practice beats one long study session every time.
That's really good to know. I think I can commit to that. What should I be doing between sessions to practice on my own?
The single best thing you can do is speak out loud every day. Read a short professional article and summarize it out loud as if you're presenting it to a colleague. Record yourself occasionally and listen back. You'll notice your own progress more clearly that way.
I never thought about recording myself. That's a great idea, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first.
It always does at the start, but it becomes one of the most powerful tools for self-improvement. You hear exactly what your audience hears, and you can adjust from there.
This has been incredibly helpful, Maya. I came in feeling quite nervous, and I'm leaving with a clear plan and a lot of useful phrases to practice.
That makes me genuinely happy to hear. You have great awareness of your own communication, and that's already a real strength. Awareness is always the first step towards improvement.
Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to the sessions ahead.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Daniel. You're going to do brilliantly. See you next week.
See you next week. Thank you again, Maya. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.